listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We're so glad you made it back. There are exciting things going on. And one of the biggest exciting things is we have our comedy relief back, everybody. We have the Big Red Machine. She is now changed. She got hitched, I guess. And now she has this crazy new last name. So we definitely want to bring her on right now. She is formerly Brooke Johnson. But so let's bring her on right now. Now she is Brooke. What the hell is it? Is it goulash? What is it? What Brooke?
It's Doogosh. I am still learning how to spell it.
It's a wild name.
Yeah, it is. And well, here, this is who actually.
Let us take a look at this handsome young man. Look at that.
Hey, what's going on?
There he is, everybody.
I think I heard congratulations. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yay! Did it! Yay! I told him he needed to change his last name to Johnson. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
We can just call him JJ.
But it's just Doogosh. Just take the L out. It's simple.
The L is silent. Yep. It was so much fun. Very small. We didn't invite any friends or anything. It was just all family. We have a lot of family. So it was a good time.
Well, for those of the listeners that don't know, this is the Jason Doogosh that I'm always mentioning in one of our sponsor ads, which is with American Senior Benefits. So if you want to put a face for those that are watching on video to it, you just saw him. If you want to put a voice to it, you just heard him. So now, everybody, we've got Brooke kind of did this evil thing where she combined forces with American Senior Benefits and she got married to Jason. And it's a great thing. So, Brooke, we're so glad you're back. We've missed your beautiful face and all the wonderful things that you have to say. And another person that we miss in his beautiful face is the Godzilla of entertainment. He is the entertainment king in this area and so many other areas. The government told me, shh, don't say anything. It's Randy, Mr. Chill Wilson. Randy, welcome back.
Good morning, guys. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day so far. And, Brooke doing that just proves that Scratch the Vinyl will do anything to get a sponsor.
We will. Who are you marrying? I mean, I'm hoping it's someone of the Heinz ketchup variety or something, Randy. Come on. We need those big sponsors.
I'm thinking more like the Victoria's Secret 10 models. That's what I'm thinking.
Randy, I am Jennifer Lopez. Just kidding. We won't marry Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, my gosh. Well, congratulations, Brooke. Of course, we're very happy for you.
Thank you, Randy. And thank you, guys. I'm so happy to be back.
There's going to be a lot of disappointed listeners out there, Brooke. That the guys that thought, I think I got a chance with the Big Red Machine. They're just going to have to hold off for now and watch yourselves, everybody. But you can always live vicariously through Jason. And it's just such a blast to have you on. But I got to tell you guys something. I was watching the new documentary on Sean P. Diddy Combs, and 50 Cent did it again, man. 50 Cent has been, and yes, I said 50, not 50. He has been trolling P. Diddy for about 20 years now. And now I think he just won the battle. If you ask me, he just trolled him to the point of putting out the most successful music documentary going on right now on Netflix, The Reckoning. And it is freaking awesome. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter if you guys have watched it or not, but we got to dive into it a little bit. So, I mean, Randy, have you watched any of this, or you've at least read something about it, right?
Well, I saw a couple interviews with 50 Cent and the producer of the show. And basically, there's a valuable lesson to be learned here is always pay your videographer. And this is basically what happened is that Diddy tried to get a control of the narrative and had a videographer filming all of his while he was dealing with the first part of the trial. And then he stiffed the guy. So 50 swept in and bought it up. And now you got the inside track to everything that was going on right up through the trial.
That's amazing. I mean, this is the ultimate diss track. I mean, he doesn't have to say anything from here on out. This is the biggest troll I did see that Ja Rule is now angry at 50 Cent, and he's saying that he should donate all the proceeds of this that he makes to the victims of the families. But I know that Ja Rule has some issues with 50 Cent too. So, man, this could be like something major. I hope that something doesn't blow up to the point of, like it did with Tupac and Biggie by any means. But for me, it feels good. Do I think that, and this is allegedly now, I don't want P. Diddy coming after me, but I think P. Diddy had maybe something to do with the loss of a couple of the best rappers of all time. But I don't know that to be true. Don't come after me. The mean streets of Air Park can be nasty, Diddy. So don't try it, buddy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Let's stick to allegedly. But Brooke, did you I know you watch Netflix. Did you watch any of this or did you see anything on this yet?
I haven't yet, but I'm really excited to watch it. I've been really busy lately and I'm just going to take a weekend and just Netflix it out. Netflix and chill. Yeah, I can't wait though to watch it.
there was another great one on Netflix this week too with Ed Sheeran. He's got one called One Shot, and he basically he was doing a show up in New York, and then you follow his journey carrying his guitar, taking a cab to he basically did perform for this couple to propose, and then he did a quick song, and then he jumps on and he runs down the street. He goes to another building to where he then does a surprise birthday party, and then gets on a tour bus with them. It gets everybody that are going sightseeing and gets them to sing along, and then shows up at an Irish pub, like the whole journey of New York, and then magically gets picked up by Camila Cabello and makes it to his show. So if you want to spend an hour of just watching Ed Sheeran play, it was pretty good.
Should have had him go to my wedding. But he probably would have sang there, don't you think? I mean, I could have his number, just dial it up, maybe.
we were gonna do that. Me and Kane were gonna do that for you, but we didn't. The song wasn't quite ready.
Oh, it will be though.
We were gonna hold a boombox up, like John Cusack, and we were gonna beg you, don't do it yet, Brooke. Maybe we got a chance, but oh wait, no, my wife wouldn't be cool with that. But you did live in my closet for quite a while, and the skeletons, Fred the skeleton here behind me, is very upset that you got married. He thought that he had the biggest shot of anybody.
He's my closet pass. It's okay. I'll always be with Fred.
Closet pass is crazy with
yeah, he's my closet pass. Well, we'll come out of the closet sooner or later, but just don't tell Jason. Love you, Fred.
Okay, why don't you tell everybody who we got on today?
We have everybody. That's right. Scratch-a-mania, running wild out there. You've been taking your vitamins like the good children that you are. You've been running amok for us and you've been listening, and we are going to deliver yet another awesome guest on our hands. We have from the Zooey's, everybody. We have Zooey Rudd. Zooey, how the heck are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
So did you get a chance to check out the new diss track movie from 50 Cent? Do you watch a lot of Netflix? Did you watch any of that?
I haven't watched it yet, actually. It's not really, I don't know. Those like exposés, they really aren't for me. They kind of bum me out. I don't know. I feel like I get so much of it through social media anyway, like that I'm going to get like 80% of the content just in like tiny little bits that I can, have the attention span for anyway. So I might pass on that one. I don't know.
I got to ask you then, what is your go-to when you're watching Netflix? Like, what do you tend to watch? Do you watch like true crime? Do you watch comedies, animes? What do you watch?
I mean, I'm such a gamer that I mostly am playing video games in my free time. If I'm watching something, it's probably like an old movie, and it's probably because I'm too tired to do anything else.
What's your game play? I want to know. My kids love gaming, and sometimes I get on there because I just like talking to everybody.
I mean, I play a lot of video games, so I don't know. I mean, I'm playing. I just am playing this Star Wars game right now called Star Wars Outlaws that came out like a year or two ago. play like single player stuff though. Like playing online, I'm like pretty bad. And so then like all like the 12-year-olds are like roasting me. It's just like a bad time.
I remember when my kid, the first time I hear him, he's like cussing and like, and he said, this is, he go kill yourself. And I walked in there and I go, what did you just say? And he goes, what, mom, what? And I'm like, who are you talking to? And it's all his buddies. And I go, quit, tell them to go kill themselves. That's not right. Quit cussing. And he goes, no, mom, like seriously, he has to kill himself so we can go to this other level. And da da da. And I go, carry on, carry on.
No, yeah, instructions. Yeah, no, I can't really hang. I just need the ones where I can just kind of play by myself and like turn on some music or whatever. So
Yeah, for sure. Do you like the music on there? Because there's a lot of bands out there now that have like the video game, you know,
for sure,
feel to it or whatever. Yeah, those are kind of cool, aren't they?
I mean, there's so many awesome video game soundtracks. It's really true. I mean, all over the map genre wise, like really orchestral things, of course, and then things that are metal or, like, and everything in between. And so I think it's really cool how that has sort of developed as that medium has all sort of grown up. And there's a lot of different artists who are being able to contribute. And like when you play a game, there's so much ambiance compared to like other mediums because you just spend so much time sitting there that like the music, I feel like, of course it like matters in movies and TV shows or whatever, but it really takes on a life of its own in video game soundtracks for sure.
Speaking of genres and stuff, your band ZOOEY'S, the ZOOEY'S.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. What is yours? Like, what do you guys do? What do you play? Like, what's your genre here?
We play indie rock, which is like such a broad genre that it almost means nothing. But I mean, I think that we play. I think that the music that we play is the sort of stuff that like in the 80s or 90s would be called alt rock, but there isn't like really a genre for that anymore. I mean, alternative rock now has sort of a different connotation, and indie rock is just this huge umbrella that captures most people who are holding guitars that aren't playing country, I guess. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that we have, contemporary influences, but also a lot of older influences, and that sort of defines our style.
I used to hate that in the 90s when they would say alternative, right? Like what is it the alternative to, right? Is it the alternative to like contemporary, to country? But now I love that term because it's actually something that you can kind of get behind. But you're absolutely right. Like if you would put me into something right now, I would also be an alternative artist or a indie artist right now because I have no genre either. So I love what you said about it almost meaning nothing because you're absolutely correct. But I mean, you guys do have kind of a sound, right? I mean, how did you guys, I love to ask other artists this, how did you guys find your sound? Because it takes a while. It takes a lot of instrument creativity. It takes all sorts of pedals and everything. How did you guys as a band find the sound that you feel fits you?
Well, when you talk about a band's sound, it's so collaborative, regardless of like how the songwriting process goes or anything, because everybody has such a different style. And I mean, everybody in the band is writing their own parts. And so there's no like overarching vision for exactly what it needs to sound like. Sometimes we can feel that we've gone too far in one direction or another, but I think there's so much autonomy among everybody who's playing in the band that it's like hard for me to answer that question, because I mean, I can say like what my influences are as a singer, as a guitarist, or sometimes I've been playing bass, but Stefan, our drummer, has his influences, and that has such a huge influence on the band and what it sounds like. And Cody, our guitarist, has his influences, and that has his tone is so much of what we are as well. And you can kind of go down the line. So I think that you just sort of have to. It's weird. It's like you just kind of throw a bunch of things together and hope that it works almost. And sometimes, some groups I've played with, it kind of doesn't, because there are some people who are trying to steer a little bit too heavy or a little bit, not heavy enough, and so you can have mishmashes of things that just sound a little bit clumsy, and you just have to hope that everybody can like make enough compromises to like what their ideal band would sound like to be able to make something cool together.
So Zoe, are you like the main writer and stuff for the band?
Yeah, I am, but like, I'll write the song, but I'll have, almost all the instrumentation is everybody kind of making their own decisions, like I said, from there. So, I mean, I just have the bones of song. And I think that that's important to me. Like, that's sort of deliberate to me as a songwriter, where I don't like the idea of a song coming out and just being able to like exist in the world in one way. I think like if a song is any good, then you can play it a lot of different ways. And so, I tried to keep something that's sort of elemental, that's just like, this could be a slow song or it could be, a banger, whatever.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. It is that magical time of year. And I want to spread holiday cheer to you all with our great sponsors. They're providing awesome opportunities to get the best gifts out there. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about Roots Music Shop, everybody. I can't think of a better place to go. You can ask Santa, you can wait, you can put in your little list and you can ask Santa for a new Fender guitar or something like that. Or you can go to Roots Music Clause and you can get yourself an awesome instrument. You can buy new, used, whatever they got there. You can also sell and trade your instruments. You can do it all there. They have records. It's instantly going to make everybody's holiday wishes come true. So don't miss out on these awesome opportunities. Go to Roots Music Shop, get yourself an instrument, and turn those fools into cools, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So give them the best gift that there is, which is an instrument, everybody. Next off, we have Backtrack Records. I mean, this is a very record heavy podcast, but I'm not just saying it because I have them as a sponsor. I'm actually a customer. Okay. I go there all the time. I dig through the bins. I get all that great stuff, and you can too. So go to Backtrack Records. It's right next to Let's Talk Bowling in the northeast side of town. It is a blast from the past there. There's everything you could ask for. I mean, they have record players for sale. They have some stereos. They have obviously one of the best record selections in all of town, new, used. I love the dollar bins, the $2 bins, $4 bins. I'm that guy. So challenge me because I'm challenging you. That's right, you, everybody, to try to buy them up before I do. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Santa for $1 million or however much it costs to buy that place. And I'm going to buy the whole thing. And then I'm not going to share with anybody. I'm just going to have it all. So, bah humbug to all of you. I really want you guys to go to Backtrack Records and get those records, everybody. And lastly, on your list, just when you want to complete something, if you want something that dad needs, get him Lil Bill's Barbecue. It is the best around. There's 8 flavors, the best flavors of your life. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually good friends with Santa and his elves, and I talk to him personally all the time on his little Santa phone. And he was telling me the other day, he was saying, I haven't been feeling myself this holiday. I'm just not feeling strong. And I sent him the 8 flavors of Lil Bill's Barbecue. And I told him, what I want you to do is I want you to insert some of these into your muscles immediately. I want you to make a nice fat prime rib, and I want you to slather it with that. And I know that's sacrilegious to some of you meat people, but whatever. I love it. Put it on anything, smear it on your face, and it gives you better moisturizing. I mean, it is the best in the business, everybody. So Lil Bill's Barbecue, you can find them on Facebook only on Marketplace. So check them out. It's not Little Bill's, it's Lil Bill's Barbecue. Check them out. Tell them Scratch and Vinyl sent you. Heck, they might even give you a discount. I don't know, but they will surely be glad for your business. So go to them, everybody, and have yourself a Merry Christmas this year, everybody.
So why don't you let our listeners know kind of like how many people are in the band, and maybe give us a little highlight of what's going on right now.
Yeah. So right now there's actually 6 people in the band. And so like there's been a lot of fluctuations in like who's been in the band and everything. Right now we've got a crew of 6, which is the biggest we've ever been. We've got who just joined the band is Hunter, who does our bass and has also been doing production for us. And so he's playing bass. He's awesome. We're super excited to have him. Stefan is our drummer. I like forget everybody's last name, so this is going to be like very like high school girl thing. Like I don't know, and he's great. I mean, he's been playing with the band. I only met Stefan in like February, and so he hasn't been with the band super long, but we've just become like super close really quickly, and it's just been a really great fit. Then Cody plays guitar, and he has been in the band off and on from the beginning. So like 6 years, I think, is when I started playing with Cody. And then we got Annie, who plays the keys, and she's awesome. She's been in the band for a little over a year now. Then we got Kyle, who plays the saxophone. And so he hasn't been on any of our records, but he's done the last few shows with us, and it's been really fun to have that like extra element. It makes me feel like we got the E Street Band, and it's just cool. So it's great.
Well, I see that you guys just released Gentle Sun, a track that you guys released in September. Talk about the process with that and kind of what that song means to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, so we've been trying to build toward an album, and we've had a little bit of a gap here where we haven't released anything the last couple of months, but we're going to fix that pretty soon. But I think Gentle Sun is sort of a song that we released, and we kind of knew it's not going to be like our super huge hit. It's kind of a long song, and it's sort of a slow grower, but it's been it's been a staple of our live shows, and I think it's a rewarding song for people who kind of invest in it. It's like one of those sorts of things. I think with Gentle Sun, one thing I was thinking about when I was writing that song is how bad I am at writing anything that's like happy. I can't write like any happy songs. I mean, just like every time I try, it seems like a parody of a happy song or something. You know, it's just not my nature. I'm just like, I guess, kind of an angsty person. And so but I felt like kind of like I didn't like that. Like it's like annoying to be able to write one song. And I was like, and I don't know, maybe it was like watching like a Paul McCartney interview, and he's just like, well, I just want all my songs to be positive. You know, like I just want to be putting positive things in the world. And I'm like, do I do that? I don't know. And I would like at least to have that gear. And so with Gentle Sun, what I kind of realized is like, I can't do something that's just like happy, but I maybe can summon like sort of a world weary hopefulness that I can have in a song. And I think that is sort of thematically what Gentle Sun is. I think when I think about Gentle Sun, it's like there's a feeling that I've had sometimes in my life. You guys have probably felt it too, where it's just like things have just gone so bad for so long that there's almost some relief to it, where you're just like, well, you know, all of my expectations or whatever have been shattered or whatever. So I just sort of kind of can start fresh. And there's something sort of empowering about that. Being able to kind of build up something new just because everything in the past has gone so poorly. And I think that that's basically like the gist of Gentle Sun.
Me and Kane were just talking yesterday because I kind of went through this time where I'd kind of gotten a little, I don't know, I was just maybe in this funk depressed thing. And I spent this whole day and wrote this song. And once we kind of got through it, and I kind of got out really what I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much listened to it, left it alone, walked away, and I felt better about the whole process because it was just kind of a way of getting it out, right? And
For sure.
And it sounds like you were just kind of looking for a way to express something that you just weren't sure how you were connected with it.
Yeah, but I almost feel less stressed when things are going wrong, because when things are going right, you're like, oh boy, where's like the trap door? You know?
Yeah, when's the next shoe going to drop?
Exactly. Yeah. And so when things like go wrong in some ways, it's almost like, okay, yep, all right, now we're in it. Uh, so I
My husband gets mad at me when because not mad, but I'm always like, everything's going to be okay. I promise it'll all work out. I promise. And then I'm in there listening to Rage Against the Machine, and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, nope, everything's going to be fine. That music really helps out even when it's that anger and, it does. I think that what you're doing is great. I mean, I listen to a lot of your songs and that is my bag. I'm telling you, it's like that, you know, when you're pissed off, and I usually clean when I'm mad. My house is not that clean right now. So piss me off, get me some rage, and it'll be nice and clean. Jason hasn't learned that part yet, but he will soon. But I like your music. I was like some of it I was listening to. It's like you even have on there like REM, Pixies, the the alternative rock that we talk about.
Mhm.
But there was one that did sound like Rage, and I was waiting for you guys just to be like, get the crowd going. And man, you guys are talented, and you're fun. You're actually really a lot of fun to watch too.
Thank
And you
you.
have a lot of, I see some of the older guys up there and they're still rocking it out. But I'm like, ooh, you need some water. You guys look like it's just, no big deal. It's pretty badass. Yeah. So you guys just came up with the name because of your name. Did you ever thinking about like switching it up or anything, or do you like it? Just
Having a different name for the band.
yeah. Did you ever? Because I know a lot of bands will do that.
Oh,
They'll switch it up. I don't think you should. I love Zooey.
well, I think our logo is so good. I just love our logo. I mean, I think that it feels like so. I mean, I don't think I would name the band the Zoe's today by any means. It kind of started as a joke because it was just me. Like the band started just as me making some demos in my apartment. And so I was just thought it was a joke because like I was playing all the parts. And so it was just like all the Zoe's were playing, I don't know. It was just stupid. And then like the couple of guys I started playing with at the beginning, one of which was Cody, who's still in the band. Um, we just kind of rolled with it. I don't know. I I need some better lore because I feel a little sheepish about the band being called the Zoe's. But then like the thing is that we got this brand, we got this art, and like it's just all so good and feels so good together that I don't know, it feels too late to change it now. I don't know. I mean, it's not like we're famous or anything, but we've got enough of a following that I feel like it would be like taking a step backwards if we had to be like, all right, now we're something else. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to call it like we're now Cody. Just kidding, Cody. Nothing against you.
Yeah,
This is the
we just give
hunter.
everybody a turn like for an album cycle.
Yeah.
That would be the most confusing thing we could do. So that's a good idea.
Well, that's why he doesn't remember their last names because he doesn't want to rename the band by anybody. Yeah. Hey, but obviously you've been playing around the Lincoln scene. Have you guys expanded out very far, Omaha, or go out of state?
Yeah, we played a ton of shows in Omaha. We haven't played a lot out of state. I mean, we're going to do that a lot more next year. We've already got, shows in Kansas, Iowa, and Minnesota lined up next year. We're thinking about doing a West Coast thing. I think that might come together, but probably like in the summer later. And so, yeah, I mean, definitely something that's important to us. But I don't know, man. I think it's tough because you think about like what the best use of your time and your work and your energy is to like actually build a sustainable fan base and like, make a life out of this. And playing shows is definitely a huge part of that. But when you don't have the base of people who are like coming to your shows every, no matter where you go, I think there's an argument to be made that you should be spending more time, on social media, releasing good songs and getting them in front of the right people. And so I would say that's kind of where my head's at. Like, I don't really care about, going to a lot of places until I know that we have people there that are going to be excited to see our show. And like touring just to tour, I think can be even detrimental to a band where you get kind of burned out and exhausted and you're barely breaking even, So it's like fun because, being on the road's the dream, but also the real dream is to be on the road and seeing, filling up 200 people rooms every city you go to of people who like are familiar with your stuff and love it. And so, I mean, that like, I'm always like, what's the quickest way for us to get to that place?
Well, I mean, my only advice to you from musician to musician, and I'm an older musician now, is I'm sure that you're a lot younger than me and the band is in general, but when you guys go on tour like this, Brandy and I were just talking. I just watched the movie Jay Kelly on Netflix with George Clooney, and a lot of it is, and maybe Randy and I'll get into this someday. A lot of it is reflection of your life, right? Like what did you miss out on, and this and that. So my only advice to you, and I hope that you guys are having the times of your life, because when you get to be a musician like me, broke down, my body's all broke down. I can't even play like a full show anymore. As I reflect on it, I sometimes like get lost in the nostalgia, or I get lost in this or that, and I even get lost in like the old negativities of the past, and I forget that it was fun to do. So I mean, how old are you guys? And I mean, are you guys all like in your 20s?
Yeah, we're mostly like in our late 20s.
Yeah.
Like Stefan's like a baby. He's like 23 or something.
And it's still fun to you guys though, right? I mean, you guys, at least when I watch you guys' live performances and stuff, I mean, it looks like you guys are having a blast. And to be honest, for me as a musician, it feels fantastic, man, to watch guys like you do the thing that we as musicians were born to do, which is just get up there and rock.
Carpe diem, YOLO. What is that? Go out and do it. Kane's not wrong. I mean, get out there, just go do it. We have connections in the West Coast. I bet we could hook you up with even some room and board and a bunch of shows to go play out with these people that already have, a fan base.
I think what Zoe's really trying to say though is right now he's trying to put a lot of the time and energy into creating maybe a new album and putting a lot of the effort into creating something that they feel that's quality and confident to go out on the road. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so right now we're finishing recording it, and hopefully I think we'll be done by the end of next month, probably, maybe February. So that's definitely a big part of it. And I don't mean to seem like cynical about playing shows in any way. I mean, obviously that would be amazing. We would love to do it. And we, say yes to basically any show off opportunity that comes our way because we just like to play, like you say. And so, I mean, if anybody's like listening to this wants to book us, like you should, like we'll play any house show, we'll do whatever. We just like to play. So that's definitely true. I think, and what you say about being joyful is also so important because you can totally get lost. Though I do think like for me, there is like a balance where it's just like, man, I love this crew that we've got. And like, this is probably the best shot I would ever get. You know what I mean? So like, if it's ever whatever, height we're going to reach, I feel like this is my chance. And I don't want to look back and be like, oh, if I'd just been a little more serious or if I like worked a little harder. Like obviously you can get lost in the work and then stop having fun and you just start getting stressed out and everything. I felt that in the past, so even with this band, this is sort of the rebirth of the band in the last year, I would say, because a couple of years ago, the first several years of this band were like the same four guys for a long time. And like end of summer 2023 or so, it kind of fell apart, and there wasn't any animosity or like bad feelings or anything. Like I love all those guys, but our drummer moved out of state, and we were all just kind of burned out, and we had kind of reached that point where we weren't having fun in the same way we had been before, and we felt like we had kind of been burdened with our own expectations a little bit. And after that, I stepped away for a while and was like, what do I want to do? Like, am I done? Like, do I just want to hang it up? Or, I don't know. I just didn't have much of a plan. And so I was like pretty blue for a little while there. And then I started just playing solo shows because I just wanted to keep making music, but I also, I didn't have a crew. And so I was just like, this is the way that I can do this right now. And then just started slowly kind of bringing people in, jamming with people, started building a new band from scratch because I just realized I couldn't live without it. Like, this is just who I am. And so I feel like that has been such a good experience for me because I have felt that burnout, and I felt what I felt after that, which is horrible. And I was just like, I can't live without this. And so it's like, I know that that's what's deep in my heart, is that this is the only thing that I can be. And so I think that that conviction has made me feel a lot more like stronger about just like working hard and like locking in, trying to do everything I can to do it, because I know what it's like without music, kind of. Even though it was like a short time, like even a few months before I started playing solo shows, I just didn't like it. And this is just who I want to be.
Well, and it's not like you're putting off a vibe that you're not having fun. When I look at you, you guys look like bright eyed and bushy tailed. You know what I mean? Like what I used to be. Like you guys have this a certain swagger about you that I miss. Like you guys are having a great time. So that's the only reason. We have a lot of musicians that listen to the show. And we always try to talk to the young musician out there that might be listening, who maybe wants to put together a band or is in a band but doesn't really know what to do. And I would tell them as a cautionary tale, just remember, everybody, it's fun. Not everybody can do it, right?
Sure.
Just like a comedian or an actor, not everybody can go out there and put themselves out there in front of strangers and just give them a show. So that's really it. It's here's your after school special, everybody, courtesy of STV and the Zooeys. But no, man, you guys are doing great. You guys sound great. It sounds like you're on the right track. Tell us about the scene as you see it. Be our in-scene correspondent to the Nebraska scene. How do you feel about it right now, and how do you feel that it's going?
I think that what is so cool about this scene is like there are like no barriers to entry, and that's what I felt when we were starting out. And I mean, I moved here from Chicago, and Chicago, it's very hard to get booked. Like you can be like, oh, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing that thing, and it's just, you just have a lot of work to do just to kind of like, at least that was my perception. And maybe, somebody else who knows better would know, maybe it's easier than it seemed like it to me. But I moved here and we started putting together this band, and all of a sudden we just started getting gigs. And so I think that culture is so amazing because it just helps bands start to stand up and think, okay, I can do this, and I can get on this stage and we'll be playing at this bar, and maybe 20 people will be there, and that's fine. But you get the reps and you start to get that experience, because gigging is like what makes you good. Like it's really hard to just practice in your basement until you're good. It's like you have to kind of load in and load out, and you have to deal with the different circumstances and realize the different things that can go wrong during a show. And sometimes the sound's not great, or sometimes, one of your pieces of gear doesn't work the way that you want it to, and you just have to adapt to the circumstance. And, so much of playing a show is like working with the crowd, and you get like every single kind of crowd that you can have, a super excited crowd, is sort of like disinterested crowd, anything in between. And so I think like the circumstances are amazing here for new bands. And I have that to credit for, honestly, us doing well, because there are so many booking people for like bars in downtown Lincoln in particular, and Omaha and like Benson and everything, where they're like, yeah, sure, come on over, and I think that you see that like where there's just like a lot of interesting and fun local bands, and like they're all in different stages, but there's a lot of bands every year that just emerge that I listen to and think, oh, they've really got something going on. They have some interesting pieces that could really build into something cool.
Well, you know what? We basically, one of the big premises of our show is that we realize there's a ton of talent here. And it's fun to see that these younger bands that are doing well, or how far they can go. And you're right, maybe in a bigger city they don't quite get that recognition or feel.
Mm-hmm.
But around here it seems like you can, if you play at any of the main spots downtown long enough, you do start at least get a following to to your sound.
Mm-hmm. And you get the experience so that if you get an opportunity to open for like a band coming through on tour or something, you're like ready, your show ready. You've just got a ton of bands here that are like ready to load up their gear and play a good show. And I feel like that's rare, it's like, it really cultivates that scene based on how things are here.
Do you have a favorite other band in town? Like, do you have a favorite band that every time they're playing, I mean, you love to see them, or, you've heard so much about them and you listen to them? Who's your favorite local band aside from the Zooey's?
I I was about to list people in my last answer, but then I was like, I don't know when to stop listing. I don't want anybody to feel left out that I don't mention. I mean, I'll say, one band that I've always really liked here is Pearl Parade. I've played a couple of shows with them, and I think that they just do a really exciting performance, and it's always fun when we're doing a show together. I'm also just recently started listening to Joy Rager, who I think is a little bit newer. And I met Alex, I think, who's their singer. And I'm hoping to put a show together with them next month, maybe, because I think they're really cool and what they're doing is great. But there's lots of others, of course, so it's like there are a lot of good ones.
Well, Pearl Parade was one of the first episodes we ever did on our show.
Yeah, they're super cool guys.
Yeah.
Just all of them are really talented.
Yeah. Well, won the Battle of the Bands here like 2 years in a row. Like, talking with them, they really, they were ready. They, like you said, they were prepared to go if they were ready to open for a big show and get noticed. And so, but that, like you said, going through that process, getting there, it sounds like you're going through the normal, ups and downs of being in the music business. And I kind of feel like you're just now probably starting to hit your stride of maybe what you want to do and where you want to go with it.
Totally.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him. I don't wear cologne. I wear the gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
We appreciate you coming on today because, again, we love getting the insight to, like bands like yours, what's going on and what's happening in the scene and kind of what the process has been for you. Let's just take a couple steps back and just like, what kind of were some of your musical influences and what got you to want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most original answer, but I mean, I feel like the biggest songwriting influence on me has always been Bob Dylan. And I think that he, like, just listening to his music sort of taught me what I would want my songs to evoke. And I think like the way that he creates songs in like a 3-dimensional way where you sort of feel like you can live in his songs a little bit instead of them just having just like one agenda where you're just like, the song is about this one thing. And so I think that that's like a baseline for me. I mean, it's hard to say, like, I always wanted to be in a band, I was just, since I was tiny. And it's hard to say what band like I was most inspired by. It might even be the Beatles. I'm just going for like the most mainstream answers you can muster. But I just felt like that's sort of like the urtext of bands where you just have this, like, it's almost mythology where you have these guys just kind of come together and they're all talented in sort of different ways and have different personalities, but just create something unexpected and incomprehensible. And it's like, wow, how did this thing come out of this? I think in terms of like making music and arranging things, Radiohead has always been sort of the standard, where I look at the way that each of them contribute and each of them kind of step in and out of their songs to make them sound so surprising and unexpected and refreshing. And I think that that's like sort of a goal that we're reaching for. And so, that's kind of the gambit. Like, I would love to say Velvet Underground, but it's impossible to be as cool as Velvet Underground. And so I just don't even try. So
That's one of my favorite records that I have. I love Velvet Underground. And Tom York, I have a bunch of his stuff too. Like, do you remember the first time you heard like a song when you're a kid and you're like, what is this? Mine was Elvira. I remember that song. And do you have that input? Because a lot of people don't remember exactly.
no, I totally have that. I remember the first time I heard Don't Think Twice, It's All Right by Bob Dylan. Or at least the first time it registered. Maybe I'd heard it before, like when I was tiny. But and something about it really just like cut through for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this song's crazy. I remember when I was little, like the first time I heard Layla, and I was like, guitars are awesome. So those are like those are the two that come to mind. Yeah, just like, wow, riffs can be really good. You have a good guitar riff, you sort of hold the key to the world.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm easily, God, I don't know if I want to say like almost 40 years older than you, but I literally, everything you said, like I went through that 50 years ago. Like I get it. Like everything you said, you kind of have your touch with the Beatles. You have your, like, I remember hearing Eric Clapton for the first time. And I remember like Bob Dylan was big. Like there was just something about that writing. Like you could connect to those songs. And so I get the process. What's amazing to me is that look how long that generation is carrying on. Like every new generation keeps finding those roots, I guess. But you talk to, you watch anything about the Beatles, John and Paul tell you how they were super influenced by the blues and the stuff that was going on in the 50s here in America, and just connecting to that core of the music. And I think that's just the secret sauce. It's everything still goes back to the core. And if you connect with it, then you create your own, you just expand, you put your spin on it, really. And so I don't think your journey's that far off. But I actually, I liked your answers to what you said.
Yeah, it's weird how much I like that first generation stuff. And it's, in some ways, it's been sort of a hurdle because I don't know. I feel like the draw to me has always been that it sort of like has this layer of nostalgia over it. And so it makes it feel like it's from some simpler time that I can't always understand. And that gives it some allure to me. But in some ways, that when I'm listening to like tons of stuff from the 70s or whatever, it can be sort of disorienting when I'm trying to make a record that's feels good in 2025. And that's why I'm so grateful I have my bandmates who kind of like ground me in the present a little bit. And I mean, I listen to a lot of contemporary stuff too, but in the end, I'm like, well, why wouldn't you make something that sounds like Ziggy Stardust if you can? So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's sort of a challenge in some ways because, if people want to listen to that kind of music, they just listen to the old stuff,
Well, it's a hard thing. I mean, when you start listening to a bunch of things at one time, or like one artist or one genre, you kind of, as a songwriter, get stuck in that, where you start, just by nature writing a song to what you're hearing. Like for me, when you're talking about like first songs and first things that influenced you, for me, it was like Bobby Brown, the Don't Be Cruel album. Like I can remember getting my sister's tape and stealing it and listening to it over and over again. And that's what taught me how to sing. So that's like one of my earliest memories. But like what other, you've mentioned quite a plethora of things. What other genres, I mean, do you listen to? I mean, do you like R&B? What do you use to kind of help perfect your craft as a singer and as a musician?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like easy to have like big ideas and be like, what if we were melding all these genres? And I definitely think that sometimes. I mean, I do listen to a lot of hip hop also, and so sometimes I think about there are just like a lot of opportunities there, but it's you just want to be really careful about how you do that because it can come off in ways that are like not that fresh and might just seem like sort of derivative of hip hop, and I don't want to do that. And so I think that that's part of it. I also think things that were more like ambient, like Brian Eno. I listened to tons of that and tons of Boards of Canada, and just Juliana Barwick, just these big atmospheric records. I love those, and I think that in some future project, I'd like to sort of harness like those giant soundscapes more. Um, like maybe meld it with something more folky. And that sounds really exciting to me. Something that I feel like I could do and pull off. But I mean, I do try and you know dip my toes and everything. I try and listen to even older stuff than what we've been talking about, like Delta blues from the 20s. I like to listen to those things, and those sound like ancient texts, and it's like some scroll that kind of blow the dust off every time you listen to it on Spotify. I really like that feeling, and trying to connect with a world that's so foreign to me, like Mississippi of the 1920s, and just hearing a voice that just comes from that world is so cool. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff there.
Well, it's kind of like listening to like Lead Belly or something, right?
Totally. Yeah, that's a great example.
I loved what you said. That's what kind of triggered it to me. It's almost like you said, like listening to a textbook or something historical, because I mean you can definitely relate to what they're saying with like the hurt and the pain and all that, but you don't necessarily know what he was going through in his. I'm sure he was going through racism and everything that went along with
Right.
being in those areas. But man, when you listen to it, it just cuts so deep. But it's really cool hearing like a guy like yourself, like the melting pot that you listen. That's the whole premise of this show, right? Is the melting pot of music and what it does for you to make you the artist that you are. I know that we don't have a whole lot of time left, but we are so glad that you came on the show. I do want to ask everybody. I think I asked Randy and everybody last week, but I'm going to keep hammering it home. I don't know if you listen to Christmas music as much as I do, but I've been hammering the Christmas music lately. Do you dig any Christmas music whatsoever? And if you do, what's your favorite song?
Oh yeah, man. My mom had like one time I counted how many Christmas CDs my mom had, and it was like 150 or something. Just like a stupendous amount of Christmas music was in my house growing up, and I love it. Like I would love to make a Christmas record someday. I think like some of my favorite Christmas records, like obviously Charlie Brown Christmas is unimpeachable. It's great. Everybody knows. I really, really like the like a very special Christmas, like mixed various artists records. You guys know what I'm talking about. The first one is really good, and I think it's the third one that has Smashing Pumpkins on it. Those two are super good. I love Stevie Wonder Christmas from when he was still a kid, like just kind of happy, smiley Stevie Wonder. It's a great album. I also really like Sting's Weird Christmas album that he dropped a few years ago, like On a Winter's Night or something, where he's just like very moody and somber, and like like when there's like snow on the ground, like kind of like right now, and it's like gray sky and everything's kind of still. Perfect atmosphere for Sting Christmas, where you're kind of like moody Christmas. So I'm all about that. Like Bing Crosby and like all of like the standards are cool, but like I just hear that so much that I almost never listen to it on my own time. But yeah, no, Christmas music is super cool. It's so weird that we have this one thing where it's just like here's the 40 songs, go. And I just think it's super cool that exists within our culture, where it's like everything else is like so innovative. It's just like, do a song that nobody's heard, do a song that nobody's heard. It's like, of course, people writing new Christmas songs, you know what I mean? Oh, Lowe's Christmas album is also a great one. That might make my top 5 as well. It's like an EP. Anyway, I just think it's cool that it's like we have this one area where it's like, here's the universe of songs that you should mostly stick to. See what you have to contribute to this canon.
Dude, I love Christmas music. I haven't listened to it in the past couple of Christmases. I just, I mean, I do a little bit, but man, my kids, I would start it right away. And I had all different kinds, like different, different bands and people. And I remember Mariah Carey came on one time and my son goes, Mom, okay, this is it. You can't listen to this one though. I said, trust me, honey, I can't turn it down fast enough. And my friend is going to kill me for that because she absolutely loves Mariah Carey. But yeah, that's not really my bag right there. But yeah, when Sting and all of them, they have their Oak Ridge Boys, Silver Bells. That's probably one of my favorites. Reminds me of my dad. I have something with the Oak Ridge Boys, I think. But yeah, we have the records. We have all the the Christmas, like the old ass ones, like I said, Snoopy or the Peanuts. And then we also watch the cartoons and the old ones, like the Snowman, that, oh my gosh, my kids love it. But yeah, the Christmas music, you could literally do like screamo gourd stuff with it. And then you could do like a little violin and sing the same song. Like it's so, you can whatever you want with it. I think you should bring out a Christmas song or a Christmas album. That'd be really badass, actually.
Well, we just rehearsed last night. We were just playing Christmas music like the whole time, just screwing around. I mean, none of it was good. None of it's getting printed, but it was still fun.
Well, Brooke, word on the street is that Santa might be bringing you the Oak Ridge Boys Christmas this year. Since I've been promising it, who knows? Maybe Santa, you've been nice this year.
I was trying to hint. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like Kane found something in the dollar bin at Roots Music or Backtrack Records.
Good. No, Santa found it in the dollar bin. All right.
Yeah. It was actually Fred in the closet found it.
Zoe, did you guys record all the stuff you did for the Christmas? You never know. You might listen to that back later and you find something that you.
That's what I was going to say. I want you to send some our way. Like I would listen to it. Just I don't even care if it's just your phone.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't record a lot of it. We try and record most of our practices, but sometimes it's just like nobody needs to know what happened here today.
I think that wasn't a straight answer. I think he recorded all of it, everybody. And we're gonna have to shake him down for it. Yeah.
We might put together like a video or something and put it on our Instagram. We might do a little Christmas song before we get there this year.
Hell yeah. Well, Zoe, before we get out of here, why don't you let everybody know like how they can find you on your socials and stuff or keep up with, when you guys do perform live and let us help get the word out for you.
Yeah. So we're at the ZOOEY'S, ZOOEY'S on Instagram or TikTok. And those are probably the best places to find us. You can check out our website. Again, if anybody wants to book us for whatever, we're happy to play any kind of show. We don't have anything booked for this month. We're going to kind of take it easy. And then I think probably late January is our next show. But we'll also be playing Lincoln Exposed in February. And, we'll be getting out on the road late in February and into March too. So got a lot of shows coming up.
Well, that's so cool, man. It was really nice to meet you and to see you. And I can't wait to go to a live show coming up later on. But I would really appreciate some Christmas music. I will be Facebooking you every day until I get some. I'm kidding.
It's a lot of pressure.
I won't do that. Maybe. Well, maybe, just at your practice. Say, this is just for my friend, and just do it for like 2 hours. That's about all I need. No, I'm kidding. But thank you for being here. You're so much fun. And you remind me of like just a breath of fresh air. And maybe you think that some of your music like gets sad and stuff, but everyone takes it differently. And I bet you make so many people happy. So it made us happy, I think, right, guys? I loved it. This is fun. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was great to meet you guys too. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, it was a blast, everybody. It is refreshing. And Brooke, if you say Mariah Carey one more time, she will appear in your mirror like Candyman and she will kill you. So don't do it. All right, you already said it twice and I've been keeping track.
Kane, I promise I won't say it again. My wedding dress was black, so I looked like pretty much Elvira. No. So I'll take her on anytime. Let's go, M word.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Another fine example of the talent and the amazing artists that we have here in this area. And for those listening around the world, and we know you are, those in Germany, Sweden, and Africa, and everywhere else, the STV Scratchaholics out there, keep scratching, everybody, and catch us on the flip side and do it here every week here on
Scratch the Vinyl. Scratch the Vinyl.